feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to be back. It's great to be back. We'll talk some American true crime tonight. This story is almost a year old. In a couple of weeks, it will be actually 1 year old, and I actually can't believe that we're this far along into 2025 and there is no update. There is no real conclusion. There's no real suspect as such. It's just sort of like, here's a crime, and we've got a little bit of CCTV, and that's about it. But it's very important that we talk about it, because if we keep forgetting about it, then no one's going to remember, no one's going to call in with any details or anything, and I don't want that to happen. I don't think you guys want that to happen. So we're gonna watch this video. This is the CCTV that they released in, I think it was January this year, and yeah, we're gonna watch it. Hey, good to see you all, retired RN. Amy is here. Mimi is here. Betsy, hey Betsy, good to have you. Marjorie made it. Who else is here? I think I said Amy, retired RN. Carolina is here. Mr. Dan Yee is here. Who else is here? Gail is here. Laurie's here. Danny. Marilyn Landis is made it tonight. Laurie's here. Who else? Laurie says the Niners didn't do well today. The Niners did not do well today. They had a bad outing for their first preseason game. I just got finished watching it before. The defense looks good. The offense looks like not an offense. It looks terrible. Gus Bradley, he has a child, and he was the quarterback for most of the game today. And his kid, I don't know what his name is. I can't remember. Carter, I think. Carter Bradley. He is absolute rubbish. He does not belong on an NFL team. He needs to go to the CFL. He needs to go to like the XFL. He needs to go somewhere far away from my 49ers. He is not a backup quality, not even backup quality. He's not even backup quality. He's like the guy that throws cans into the rubbish bin outside the stadium. That's who he is. He is not an NFL quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. Danny said it's just preseason. Right, and he couldn't complete a pass against like second string people on the other team. That tells me that he's no good. He's no good. No bueno. No bueno. But that's okay. We have a Mac Jones and we have a Brock Purdy. It'll be all right. Brock Purdy be fine. As long as he doesn't get injured. As long as he doesn't tear an ACL. It'll all be good. All right, okay, good to see you guys. Oh, I'm on another screen. It is great to see you all here today. We're doing something a little bit different tonight. We've done a lot of Aaron Patterson. And I spent the last 2 days going through just a whole bunch of court documents that we were able to get after Friday. We were able to get access to them, and we finally got them. And I've been reading through them, and it's like a year's worth of documents. Not even kidding. I can't remember how many pages it is total. Here, I'll tell you. It's in here. And I don't even think this is all of it. I think this is only some of it. It's, I think I said 40,000 pages on Trisha's show, but it's not 40,000. I was just joking. It's 1,524 pages. 1,524 pages. So I had to sit here and just like read them all over like 2 days and take notes of what was this and what was that. So we'll have more on that. I think tomorrow night. I just want to have a break for a night. My mind is just Aaron Patterson 24/7. Like at the moment, I'm just like, my mind is swimming with Patterson facts. So I thought tonight we visit a case we haven't gone to in quite a while. We haven't really visited it since about January. So I was one of the people that put a call out to the police department. I think this is Harris County HCSO, who's the lead agency, along with the FBI, the area command FBI. And I had been calling on Twitter for months for them to release something, give us an update. Like, it's 3 people murdered. And for months, they were just like, yeah, no information. I contacted their PIO, and I was like, hey, do you have an update for this? I even contacted their sheriff. I contacted their sheriff directly, and he's like, I can't tell you anything. And I was like, thanks. Thanks for the update. I appreciate it. And it was months and months later that we finally got a bit of an update to it. And at least it was a decent one. At least it was a decent one. And it was this one. It included news surveillance footage. So I'm going to play it. And so we'll go. Actually, I'll tell you what happened. So back in August of last year, there was a house fire. 18th of August was the day after, sort of the day after. It happened in the middle of the night between the 17th and the 18th. But early morning in the 18th, people realized that this house had been on fire and was burning down. When they put the fire out on the home, they realized that there was 3 people inside the home that had been killed. It was a very strange press conference. A day after, I think it was the day after or the same day, they had a press conference outside the home. And they were like, hey, we got this. We have surveillance footage. We saw the dude. He jumped over the fence. He went out the back. He went through the play area. Like we got it. It's cool. We know what's going on. We're gonna get this guy. They seem so confident. And I was like, they're gonna round this up in like a week or 2. And that didn't happen. And then we got a little bit more information about who these people were. So it was a mom, her son, and the son's girlfriend. And that's the 3 that were killed inside the home. It's really, really brutal. Yeah, not consistent. Yeah. So authorities said originally that the victim's death was not consistent with smoke inhalation or fire. That tells you that the victims were killed before the fire. Had they been killed during the fire, they would be able to tell. Because they would have the soot in their windpipe. But no soot in the airways means they died before the fire. Here. Is this the original one? Yeah, this was the original press conference, I think. I'm going to play this, and I want to play the update in January.
Tonight, we're learning more about the deaths of 3 people whose bodies were found after a house fire on Plains River Drive in Cypress Sunday morning. Now, the Harris County Sheriff's Office say that this fire was actually deliberately set. Fox 26's reporter Leslie Delisbour is live there. Leslie, at this point, what can you tell us?
I can tell you that the Harris County Sheriff's Office says that a mother, her son, and his girlfriend were killed in this home that you see behind me. Kelly Masciarelli in her 50s, her son Colin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameron Richard, both in their 20s, were found dead inside this home while fire crews were working to put out the flames.
The bodies had signs of foul play and also had trauma.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office says the 3 did not die from smoke inhalation, but they were dead before the fire started. And arson investigators confirm an accelerant was used. As sheriff's deputies continue to work leads, they say a red Corvette was parked here in the front of the home, but it was towed away Sunday and is being processed as part of the investigation. something neighbors who did not wish to be identified say was strange and are having a hard time wrapping their head around, saying this family was a nice one to live by.
I kept looking out the window to see the neighbors, like see where they were in the cul-de-sac, and wasn't seeing them, and starting to get a little worried about what was going on. And then, of course, as the day went on, we found out what happened.
Now, I want you to take a look at the front door. As you can see, I'm going to step out so you can see. As you can see, there is a tarp on that front door. And before that tarp was placed, there was a big hole in the front door giving easy access into the home. A friend of Kelly's who came by earlier to look at the scene confirmed off camera that the folks we saw putting it up were indeed family members of the deceased.
All right, so that is when it originally happened, and that's about all we knew for about half a year. For
Still
about
not at peak hurricane season yet. That comes in
It's
September.
hurricane
So when
season.
you are
All
making
right,
your
be quiet. For about 6 months, that's all we knew. There was no information. I tried digging. I contacted the sheriff, the HCSO PIO. I've contacted the local area FBI who was doing part of the investigation. No replies for a lot of the emails. When I did get a reply, it was sort of like, no comment to the press at this time. When we have something for you, we'll invite you to whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then we got notice. They actually did tell me a day. It was about a day before or 12 hours. It's American time, so it's a bit hard for me to tell sometimes. But they invited me about 12 hours before. They're like, hey, we're going to have a press conference. And I'm like, I'm in Australia. I'm not going to be able to go, but okay. But I watched it online after, and the press conference had some interesting details, finally. One of the things including that they increased the reward up to $25,000. And I said at the time that I thought that was pretty low. 25 grand for a triple homicide. Triple homicide. This is not like, oh, somebody not that all lives don't matter. But, it's not like, we found a body and we don't know what's going on and here's a $5,000 reward. This is a triple homicide that's unsolved. That they don't really know what's going on and they have a suspect, but they don't quite know who it is. And it's all a little complex. 25 grand for 3 people, 3 lives. I find that quite small. We've seen larger rewards given out for far less, sort of homicides, far less. And I thought after 6 months, that's a pretty low reward, pretty low. So I'm going to play the surveillance footage. This is what they released in, I think it was January. Was this January? No, Feb. Maybe Feb 4th, 2025. That may be it. So it was very early this year, I remember. So yeah, here we go. From the FBI. Call that number if you know anything, by the way. So these are obviously CCTV from around the neighborhood on the night of the 18th. And there's a person walking, just, casually going for an arson. That's what I like to do in the evenings. Casually go for an arson. And then this strange car just milling around the neighborhood, right? It's just a little creepy. Then the car sort of doubles back. There you go. It's all a little weird, and it gets weirder, I promise. Near the end of this, it gets even weirder. See this car of interest. The end is very odd. Almost like they're looking for something. This is in Texas, in Harris County, Texas. HCSO, Harris County. And you see this car still driving around. Oh, now it's got the high beams on. it's just weird. You know what? Here he comes again. There's a little bit of a jump in the footage, I think. There he goes, back around the corner. Back down the street again. Just, yeah, it's very, very, very creepy footage. But you'll see the bit at the end. Hold on. Slowly pulls up here. More creepy, just rolling around the neighborhood. Back the other way again. Almost like buying time or scoping something out. Another surveillance footage of the car. Yeah, this is the getaway car. Yep. This is the getaway car. So there's more than one offender. More than one offender, because there's one offender who's not in the car right now. Right now, there's a person in the car. There's a person in. This is where the house is, I'm pretty sure. Right there at the top of that little, circular bit. So we're waiting on this second person. It's a it's a lot of CCTV. This is the bit that's interesting. So I'm going to pause it here for a second. It now switches to another angle. And what is this angle? This is at the back of the victim's property. This is at the back. So what they think happened is the offender went into the home and then came out, but jumped the back fence, went through this rec area, ended up in a playground. I think it's called like Pirate Playground, if I remember correctly, and then gets picked up by this car and they take off down the highway. So that's what you're going to see here. You'll see the offender like sneak through, and here we go. Here he comes through the back of the frame. Comes running down there, running down the street. Here he is on that roadside. Walking quite quickly. And who's this? Who's this? Is he hiding from someone? Or is this his buddy? Oh. There you go. Lights go off. That I think that caught me when we watched this in Feb. That the lights go off. Obviously picked up. I think he ran to the car, got in the car before that car came past. And this is the last shot we have of them. They take off down, and then they're never seen again. At least not that the public is aware. So let's go back. Let's go back and watch that last little bit, because it's a little confusing. So there he is. It's very hard to see. He's in the back of the frame. His buddy pulls up with the headlights right there. They meet at the intersection. His buddy runs across the road to the car. You can just see him get in the car. And then as soon as they see the headlights, they're sort of like, I want to know if that person that went in the opposite direction ever gave a statement to police, ever, because they might be the only people that saw them. I put this question to Sheriff Gonzalez. I've asked him, and I've got no reply. I want to know if that person ever gave a statement, because or if they were ever able to track him down at all. So that is the CCTV, and they're asking anyone if you know anything or you saw anything on that night, 18th of April, 18th of August, 2024, in this area in Cypress, in Texas. If you saw anything, to contact them, because
Hello, and thank you very much for being here today. I'd like to thank all our media partners for coming out.
Yeah, I'm a media partner. You be quiet. I'll get to you when I'm ready. Um, just nothing. It's a year later, no arrests, no increase of the reward. So this is on Plains River Drive. I will show it to you in a second. We've looked it up a few times. We've been out here before. Yeah. Cypress Mill Park. We will look it up. Yeah, I will show you the area in a minute. I've got it on the screen here. But I want you to watch the press conference that happened in earlier this year and just listen to what they have to say about this entire investigation.
For this press conference in search of justice. Today, we will be hearing remarks from Sheriff Ed Gonzalez in both English and Spanish, from investigator Wendy Posadas from the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and from Special Agent Douglas Williams with the FBI Houston, and of course, the mother of Cameron Richard, Miss Tina Taylor. I'd also like to recognize some of our valuable partners who have joined us here today. Mr. Andy Kahn, who's the Director of Victim Services here at Houston Crime Stoppers, our partners here at the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. We even have Fire Marshal Christensen here herself. Thank you for your partnership, since this was an arson case, as well as the family members of the foster side as well, who suffered significant loss. I do want to say as well and preface that the families do not want to be approached by media after the fact. So we will have individual interviews, but they're going to be with the sheriff as well as our investigative team. I will be sending out, or we rather will be sending out video of the surveillance.
By the way, when I requested the surveillance, like the actual copy of it and the press handout and a meeting with one of their investigators, they declined all of it, which is interesting because I did get an email saying that I could go to the meeting. So don't know why they wouldn't want it. I've been one of the largest voices online pushing for this case for over a year. Strange. Maybe they're racist against Australians. That's what I think. I think they may be racist against the kangaroo nation. It might be that.
As well as individual interviews with Mr. Michael Foster, Colin's father, as well as Tina Taylor. Without further ado, I'd like to kick it off to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we share some very important information with our community. We stand before you with heavy hearts, seeking justice for Kelly Mastroianni, her son Colin Foster, and his girlfriend Cameron Richard. 3 lives brutally stolen on August 18th, 2024. This was not just a fire, it was a calculated act of murder and arson. This cowardly crime has created an unfillable void in the lives of those who love Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. We will not rest until those responsible are brought to justice. Our dedicated detectives have been working tirelessly, pursuing every lead. Today, we are releasing surveillance footage of a suspect, a tall, muscular individual entering a black 4-door sedan. We believe someone in our community recognizes this person or the vehicle. We know this suspect, this coward, also had help as someone was driving his getaway car. We implore you to come forward with any information, no matter how small it may seem. We are committed to using every resource available to solve this case. We owe it to the survivors and their families to ensure justice is served. We are grateful for our partnership with the FBI Houston. Special Agent in Charge Williams is here, which has enabled us to offer a reward of up to $25,000 for information leading to the arrest of the individuals responsible for this crime. This reward reflects our collective commitment to seeking justice for Kelly, Colin, and Cameron, and their grieving loved ones, the survivors. You can submit tips anonymously through the hotline at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, which is 225-5324, or online at tips.fbi.gov. I would like to thank the FBI Houston and Crime Stoppers. Andy Kahn is here today with us as well for their unwavering support. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to the families for their strength and trust during this unimaginable, difficult time. Lastly, I commend our detectives for their relentless determination in uncovering the truth. To the perpetrators, you cannot hide. We will find you. The families deserve closure, and our community deserves to be safe.
Are you sure, Ed Gonzalez? Are you sure? Because by my watch, it's about 12 months later. You haven't arrested anyone, nor have you given any more updates besides February. And you're saying that the neighborhood's very safe. Really? You got a triple homicide, you know, 2 individuals that or more took part in it. And you're like, it's fine. We will seek justice and never stop. Well, I hope you haven't, because we're 12 months past now and we haven't really heard anything since that day. You've given us some CCTV, you sort of told us the timeline, but that's about it. And I mean, I know investigations are not open to the public, but it's a long period of time.
Do the right thing and turn yourself in or call in with that tip that we need. Together, we will bring these criminals to justice and honor the memory of those we have lost. Briefly in Spanish. Buenos días, gracias por acompañarnos. Estamos buscando justicia para las familias de Kelly Maciarly, su hijo Colin Foster y su novia Cameron Richard. 3 vidas brutalmente arrebatadas el 18 de agosto del 2024. Sus trágicas muertes en un incendio en su casa en Cypress han dejado a su familia destrozada y a la comunidad de luto. Esto no fue simplemente un incendio, fue un acto calculado de asesinato. Este crimen cobarde ha creado un vacío irreemplazable en las vidas de los seres queridos que siguen aquí con nosotros. No descansaremos hasta que los responsables sean llevados antes la justicia. Nuestros detectives han estado trabajando incansablemente, siguiendo cada pista. Hoy estamos publicando imágenes de vigilancia de un sospechoso, un individuo alto y musculoso que se ve entrando en un sedán negro de 4 puertas. Creemos que alguien en nuestra comunidad reconoce a esta persona o el vehículo. Sabemos que este sospechoso también tuvo ayuda, ya que alguien conducía su auto. Les imploramos que se presenten con cualquier información, por pequeña que sea. Estamos comprometidos a utilizar todos los recursos disponibles para resolver este caso. Le debemos a las víctimas y a sus familias garantizar que se haga justicia. Agradecemos nuestra colaboración con el FBI de Houston, que nos ha permitido ofrecer una recompensa de hasta $25,000 por información que conduzca al arresto de los individuos responsables de este crimen. Pueden enviar información de la forma anónima a través de la línea directa del FBI a 1-800-225-5324 o en línea en tips.fbi.gov chica. Me gustaría agradecer al FBI de Houston y a Crime Stoppers de Houston por su apoyo. A los sospechosos no pueden esconderse, los encontraremos. La familia merece estar segura y la comunidad también merece resolver este caso para la familia. Hagan lo correcto y entréguense. Juntos llevaremos estos crímenes antes de la justicia y honraremos la memoria de aquellos que hemos perdido. At this time, I want to turn it over to the lead investigator, Detective.
By the way, I don't want to hear any complaints about us having to listen to the Spanish version of it. It's very important that we try and reach everyone, people that speak English naturally, and people that speak Spanish. There's a lot of different people in communities, and maybe someone saw something, but they don't speak very good English. So it's important that we show both versions of it and in the entirety. Because you never know who is listening. Here, SP Mama said, "Yeah, what? Ping says shoes about every other. What? I say the word shoes. I don't know if I do. Mimi says, can you translate? I speak 0 Spanish. Now, at the start of the year, I tried to learn some, and then I fell into a trial that's still ongoing. And my free time went to about this. Between a sick person here and a trial, my free time is like literally minuscule. And I just sort of gone off it for now. When things calm down, I'll go back to it. But I know like 4 words in Spanish. That's it. I don't know anymore, but I'm trying because we when we do American true crime, we often focus on states in the South, and we do a lot of different names and places and Y's that are J's or J's that are Y's or I's that are L's or something. I don't know, but there's a lot of different things. People are asking, is it gang related? Like, there's some, I don't. It's hard to know what is truth here and what is not without an official release. That I've heard the sort of gang connection to this, but I've not seen any real super solid evidence that there was anything sort of like that. It's hard to know without actually speaking to the detectives or getting something that has some connection to it. But I think it's easier just to go with the official version right now. Like, I just don't want to muddy the waters and start some sort of like misinformation campaign around it. I think we should just stick to the official storyline. Here, I'll take you to
Detective
this
Wendy
guy should be
Posadas
done.
for
Ed
more
Gonzalez,
information about
thank
the
you. Let's
case.
go to the other lady. So this lady's from the FBI. The lady you're about to hear from now, she's from the FBI. She has been doing the investigation on behalf of them. And what she has to say is probably the most important of this press conference.
Good morning. My name is Wendy Posadas. I am the lead investigator in the triple homicide arson case that we'll be speaking about today. On Sunday, August 18, 2024, homicide investigators were called out to the residence that was located at 14602 Plains River Drive in Cypress, Texas. Upon our arrival, we were informed 3 victims were located on the second floor of the residence inside of their bedrooms with defects that were consistent with gunshot wounds. During the investigation, the medical examiner's office conducted autopsies on the victims and was able to determine that all 3 victims were shot multiple times and were deceased prior to the fire starting. My team and I, we canvassed for surveillance video in the neighborhood, and we were able to retrieve video that captured the suspect vehicle as well as the suspect. The suspect vehicle was first seen at approximately 5:30 in the morning in the neighborhood, driving around for approximately 30 minutes. The vehicle stopped at the intersection of Watermill Drive and Palos Park Drive, where a suspect exited the vehicle. At this time, we learned that there was more than one suspect involved in this case. One suspect walked southbound on Palos Park Drive as the other suspect drove the suspect vehicle around the neighborhood. The suspect walked south on Palos Park Drive towards the community center, jumped the fence at the community park, and walked down the fence line towards the back of the residence. At approximately 6:05, the suspect entered the residence through the back gate and entered through the back door of the residence. There was no forced entry observed at the back door of the residence. The suspect walked up to the second floor, shot and killed all 3 victims, and intentionally set the house on fire to cover up the crime and the evidence. The suspect walked out of the residence at approximately 6:11 in the morning, walked through the community park, walked to the intersection of Cypress Wood Drive and Palos Park Drive where the suspect vehicle awaited. At approximately 6:14, the suspect enters the suspect vehicle and starts driving. The suspect vehicle starts driving eastbound on Cypress Wood Drive. At approximately 6:15 in the morning, the vehicle was last seen traveling southbound on Cypress Rose Hill Road towards 290. The suspect vehicle was observed to be a dark colored 4-door sedan with chrome rims, chrome grille, and chrome emblem in the front. There was reflectors in the back bumper, and the third brake light was positioned on the lower portion of the rear window. The suspect observed on camera was a medium-built male wearing a dark-colored hoodie and long pants. We're seeking justice for the families of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin. There's somebody out there that knows something. We are reaching out to those people to come forward and call the FBI tip line or Crime Stoppers. I've been closely working with the FBI and Special Agent Brian Ritchie, whose expertise and resources have been very helpful in this investigation. The FBI has been able to procure a reward money for any tips that leads us to an arrest in this case. I will now pass the podium over to FBI Special Agent Douglas Williams, who is speaking on behalf of the FBI. Thank you.
So good morning. My name is Doug Williams, and I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI here in Houston. I'd first like to start by offering the FBI's condolences to the family of Kelly, Cameron, and Colin, whose life was tragically taken on August 18, 2024. So I am so sorry for your tragic loss. And I am proud and want to thank the partners that are here with me today, from the Harris County Sheriff's Office to the Harris County Fire Marshals, our partners at Crime.
This is one of the things that I hate about press conferences. It's like, I get it. Like, all your buddies have shown up for the press conference, and like, that's a big deal. You guys are very busy. I get it. But do you have to be like, the FCA was here and the DFS was here and like the Jim from plumbing was here and the guy from the janitorial was here? Like, you guys don't have to read through a list of people. You can just say thank you to all our partners for being here today and then continue on with your speech. You don't have to like name every person that's standing behind you, including the person that nods every time you say something like they're agreeing with you. It's a little odd.
Crime Stoppers and the entire team at the Harris County Sheriff's Office who is supporting this investigation. We're all working this case together, but we need the public's help to solve this triple homicide. Today, and the reason I'm here is the FBI is offering up to $25,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the suspects who heinously killed Kelly Mascarelli, Colin Foster, and Cameron Richard. If you know anything that might help investigators, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. FBI Houston is committed to helping the Harris County Sheriff's Office bring justice in this case. Kelly, Colin, and Cameron's families and friends deserve all the assistance and support we can provide. FBI Houston frequently assists local law enforcement with a variety of cases. We offer state-of-the-art technology from our world-renowned FBI lab in Quantico. We sometimes embed intelligence analysts at local departments to delve into unsolved cases. And we have dozens of federally deputized local detectives and investigators who work alongside FBI Houston's.
All right, bro. You don't have to give us your, like, the company's spiel about how many things you do. We know you're very technically qualified. We've seen you in the court cases. It's all good. Yeah, we don't need to hear that. We just want to know the details of what's going on. I'm just going to get out of this,
Special
guy.
agents to protect our communities every day. Despite all of these resources, we depend on the public's help to solve many of these.
Apparently, my Seek bar has stopped working for the video. Like, I was trying to go forward and it wouldn't let me.
Cases we work. This triple homicide is,
as you can see, like, I'm
no
trying
exception.
to make, as you can see, I'm trying to make it go forward and back and it won't let me now. All right, now it will. Oh, come on. All right, we may have to refresh. Hold on. Come on, you silly thing. All right, let's go down to this one. It's right here.
Hello, and thank you very much.
Six months.
Is 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you for your help. We need it.
Good morning. Tina Taylor, Cameron's mom. It's been almost 6 months. It's been 6 long months. I think all of our families are suffering. 3 lives were taken for no reason. My 4'6", 82-pound daughter was shot to death for no reason. Her boyfriend was shot to death and his mother was shot to death. And there is somebody evil out there walking around, and they will do it to somebody else, and they will harm somebody else's family. They will destroy somebody else's family. And if you know anything, if you have heard anything, somebody even mentioned something to you, whether you know it to be true or not, please call. Call the tip line, call the FBI, call Harris County detectives. Nobody should be allowed to take a child from a mother, or to take a son from a father and a mother, or to take somebody's mother. That's just horrible. And evil cannot go long. God is too good, and it will come to pass, and this person will be caught eventually. But we need everybody to call in, and if they know anything, to say something, because somebody else is going to die if this person is not taken off the street.
You know, you can see the heartbreak in her voice talking about her daughter. So her daughter was Cameron, and you know, I don't know what it would be like to lose a daughter that is, well, of any age, but that young, you know, just starting her life as an adult, and in such a violent death. It really is violent. Shot in the home, and then the home set on fire. It denies the family even a goodbye, because like their bodies would be, you know, desecrated by that fire. And it's a very sad case. There's got to be answers here. Someone must know. And I don't want to say like someone was involved in anything, but there must be a reason someone would drive out at like 6 a.m. in the morning, hunt around your neighborhood, and get into your home and shoot all of you and set it on fire. Not saying they did anything wrong, but there must be people who know what was going on here. I don't think that you could be so clandestine between two people that they've never spoken about this to other people. It seems to me like that's what they're asking for. They're asking like, have you overheard someone bragging about this? Have you overheard someone saying that they were involved? That's the information they're looking for. That little thread that they can pull at and try get to these two people, the driver of the car and the person who committed the act. Both of them are complicit in the crime, and there could be more people. Maybe these are just the people who did the like action, but then maybe there's more people behind this as well, because it's a little strange to have the FBI brought in so early. Normally FBI is brought in under certain circumstances. It's interesting that they were brought in like that. It almost tells me like they think that there's something there that maybe they haven't released to the public that would trigger that, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I know they often bring them in for homicide cases, but you know, sometimes they just don't, and there must be something there that the FBI is very keen to look into. No suspects, except for that CCTV. It is very sad. Anger targeting or something. So it was around, they're saying here the suspect is described as a taller male with a large to, you know, medium to large upper build, wearing a hoodie. Surveillance footage captured him arriving on a nearby street. He ended up walking to the home like we saw on the CCTV, entered that property sometime around 6:05 a.m. And, you know, shortly after, those 3 victims were shot to death, and the fire was started in the property. Minutes later, between 6:11 and 6:14 a.m., the suspect leaves the property and flees the area on foot, cutting through a tennis court to reach the getaway vehicle, and the car picks him up. Their headlights are off to avoid that vehicle, and they end up heading towards Highway 290. And they're saying here, due to poor lighting and resolution of the cameras in the area, details including a license plate remain unclear. So that's why we don't have a license plate, due to the quality and angle of some of these cameras, unfortunately. Mimi said the suspect knew somebody in that house, drugs, gang, angry coworker, who knows, but some kind of connection. Most of the time with murders, unfortunately, the statistics will bear out that, unfortunately, it's normally someone known to the victim. I've gone through the crime statistics with you before, and I think a random killing is like 1% of all homicides each year. It's pretty rare, and I don't think this is some sort of randomized attack on this home, because like you would think things would be stolen, there could be theft, money, guns, I don't know, like anything. It's property stolen. I haven't heard about any property being taken from the home. Here. So it's a blue or black four-door sedan with a third brake light located in the lower portion of the rear window. FBI says it was last seen around 6:15 a.m. going eastbound on Cypress Wood Drive before making a right turn onto Cypress Rose Hill going towards US 290. So let me show you the area. This is the area right here. Here's the home, 14602. That is it. Here's that, like, sort of, I don't know what you call it. It's a cul-de-sac, or what do they call it? A drive. This is the street you sort of see at the end of that CCTV. And here's the tennis court that they sort of get out of here. And there's Cypress Rose Hill. Is it Rose Hill? Yeah. Cypress Rose Hill Drive. So this is where he gets picked up. That's the side street there, Cypress Wood Drive. So I think the car is somewhere around here in this one, and they turn and go down here. So they go down. Is it down this way or the other way? Let me have a look. Ping doesn't live here, so I don't know where US 290. Yeah, so US 290 is here. So they make it through here, Cypress Rose Hill Road, and they make it to US 290 here. So once they're on the interstate, who knows where they get to. I would have thought there would be more information on the highway. Like, there's got to be traffic cameras, DOT cameras, something, but we haven't seen any information of, once they get to the highway, what direction did they go? Is there any, anything like that? No, we're on a map now. You might be frozen. We're on a map. So we're on a map. I hope it's not frozen. Yeah, so we'll go back up here and we'll trace the route again. So there's the home. Here's the crossroads for you. Cypress Wood Drive, Cypress Cypress Rose Hill Road. And then they turn from, I think it's from here to here, or from here to here. Sorry, I'm Australian. We drive on the opposite side of the road. So from here down to here, they take off down this road and leave the area after committing that heinous crime. It's a bit of a drive. I thought there might be more cameras, and you got this giant strip mall type place here too, but no cameras that we're able to see. And then they get onto the highway. Last seen heading down US 290. What's interesting is they didn't give us the camera, because they said they know it made it to US 290. Like, there's 20 different roads here that they could have gone down. They could have gone down Hempstead. They could have gone this way. They could have gone down here, through here or something. Like, they could have gone through, I don't know, other places. They could have gone down this way. I know it's a dead end, but they could have. They could have gone through here and made a back way through up through this region, and I don't know, made their way out through back roads. Can you get out through a back road? You can. So they could have gone all the way through here and made it to Cypress Mill Place Boulevard, then gone up through here and, gone through the Costco gas station and hid, but they didn't. They went straight up here and got onto the highway and took off. How do they know they made it up here? So is there camera footage that they haven't shown us? Because it's interesting that they know they got to this point, but we don't have that footage at all. The last thing we get is back up here. Back all the way up here. Right here on this corner. So he comes through that tennis court and his buddy is waiting right here. Yeah, let me go back to that footage. There you go. That's the tennis court and the playground right there. Cameras obviously from the rec center. And there's that car. Turns onto that road and then takes off. And, you know, they think it's all the way down to that US 290. So hold on. We'll go back a little further, actually. Yeah, so you see him running through the back here of the frame. There you go, running through the tennis court at the back. He is a pretty big guy. You can see that build on top. Like he's quite a you know, stocky kind of guy. Not real thin. To be that casual after killing 3 people and setting their home on fire too is insane. Hold on, guys. Sorry, Mr. Muffin's right here and he keeps clawing my back. Yeah, then we see it again. Let's see. Yeah, the DOT cameras caught Alex Cox in the Jeep. Right. So the fact that they know they made it this far out tells me that maybe they do know. All right, guys, I'm going to run it through one more time. And I'm going to be back. 1 second. I need to get something for Muffin. Hold on. Hey guys, we're back. There we go. Here he is, Mr. Purring Cat. Yeah, so there you go. That's what they're looking for. The driver of this vehicle, and then the guy who actually went in there and did the crime. So, Joe Neal, I think you're wilding out. I think you're hanging out on MTV. Doing wild and out or whatever it used to be called on MTV. There you go. I want to hear people's comments under this video. Like, what type of car do you think that is? Because I think they've had trouble figuring out what type of car exactly that is. So if you have an idea about what kind of make or model, if you can figure it out, let me know. Put it in the comments. Oh, let's go back. Hold on. There's a good view of it. Oh, these cameras are so terrible. Hey guys, invest in 4K cameras. No, I'm just kidding. So blurry though. Night cameras have so much problem with the dark. I mean, it's pretty light in there. They got a big bright light, but it makes details in the background hard to see. Yeah, that's I think that was the best view of the car, like the make and model. No, I don't think anyone had more Ring doorbells. These look like cheap Amazon type cameras. So this is that ring, that sort of like roundabout, right? This is where the house is, right here. So that car went and checked on his buddy. That car went and checked on him to see if he came out, see if he was standing right there. He went and checked on him, which is, and they drive past a cop car right here too. So we have a whole lot of CCTV, but not a lot of identity. That's what we've got on this one. It reminds me of Missy Beavers. A lot of CCTV, but not a lot of like identity. We sometimes get these cases where that happens, where you get quite a bit of video, but there's not a lot of identification, unfortunately. Yeah. So, and then his buddy gets in the car and they take off. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, it's 1 year. In a couple of weeks, it'll be 1 year since this took place, since 3 people were killed in Cypress. And it bothers me that it's not a bigger deal, that the community and other people are not rallying and being like, hey, these people deserve justice. I've seen bigger sort of, like, do you guys remember when the Idaho 4 happened, when Koberger's victims happened? There was outrage. There was people camping out at the freaking house and doing live shows from outside on the road, and going to all like the community meetings. This is not that far off. Like, that was 4 people. This is 3, and there's less attention on this than there was on Koberger's case. Like, what is the difference? Does it make it because they're young, hot college students that they get more attention? Is because these are some sort of white people just living in the middle of Texas that it doesn't matter to anyone? Well, it matters to me, and I want to know why people don't consider this such a high-profile crime. Why did Koberger's one become such a national sort of thing with Dateline specials and this and that, but this one people just don't even know about? It troubles me. How can it be a race thing when they're all white? They're all white, buddy. The people in the, I think they are anyway. In the Koberger one, I think they were all white kids. These people are all white. So it's not like I'm trying to start a race war here. Just don't understand why this one is not a more priority for true crime creators, for media members nationally, not just outside, not just in Harris County, but nationally. No one seems to have picked up on it. So it worries me. And that's why I've spent about a year advocating for more information. I've reached out to the sheriff a number of times. And unfortunately, one of the things I've encountered a lot is that I'm not a US resident. So they are not beholden to my requests like they are from a US citizen. In Australia, I contact the police and I get a reply in an hour. I contact the courts, I get a reply in 10 minutes. When I do the same in America, I get shut down instantly because I'm not. They just Google me and figure out, hey, that guy's an Aussie. He's not from Texas. We don't have to deal with him. And it's a bit frustrating because I would like to work on this case a bit more. Hey, Junie. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Blonde hair, blue eyes girls get the attention. It's a shame. I don't believe it should be like that. Joe Neal said, "Don't try to start a race war." I won't. I promise. Ping won't. As a white guy, I promise I'll try not to. Rachel said, "I haven't seen much at all about this case. I think some of my videos are about the only ones on YouTube." FOIA stuff, we have got a few people working on FOIA requests for us. We've got like 3 different cases, including we've got an update coming in Trinity Bostic. So Trinity Bostic, who was murdered last year, we do have some movement on the court documents for that, and we're waiting to sort of get them, but we've paid the money for it. I got some help from a nice person who lives in Tennessee, so we will have them soon too. Hey Brenda, what's up? Have not seen you on in a while, Ping. I'm confused. I've not been on in a while. I've been here. We've been breaking news. We've been in and out of the courtrooms, my friend. We've been doing a lot of Australian cases recently. A lot of Aaron Patterson and Lachlan Young. The trial basically is like a full-time job. It's like I have to dedicate all my time to that and that alone to do it properly and bring you guys the real information. And this week we beat the media companies by hours. We beat them twice to the punch, and this channel broke news a few times this week with evidence from the Aaron Patterson trial, like that. Half Irish said Dali Talk is in Arizona. He's good at getting stuff. Friends with Hella. I know Dali. I can always reach out. Yeah, me and Hella are good friends. I can always reach out to Hella too. So it's a good point. But he's probably got enough on his plate working on their cases. I know they were doing. What they were telling me the other day? They were working on a case. The one in Las Vegas. This one in Las Vegas. A YouTuber killed another YouTuber in Vegas. And I'd never heard about it because I've been stuck in a trial for like months, and I've not been sort of keeping up with US true crime very much. And I watched Hella's episode on it, and I was shocked. I was like, this all started about like, oh, you suck, and I don't like your channel, and you're a jerk, and you make fun of me, and copyright strikes, and the guy pulled out a gun and shot the guy on the Las Vegas Strip. It was bonkers. I've never seen anything like it. It was a good case that they picked. Thanks, Woman of Steel. Info about these victims? Well, we've already done it. No, what? Info about these victims. I'm not sure what you want me to tell you about them. I think we gave you most of what we know about Kelly. Hold on. I can give you more. There's not a ton known. A lot of the info about their backstory has sort of been kept. So it's Kelly Mascarelli. Her son is Colin Foster, and it was his girlfriend, Cameron Richard. They were the 3 that were found dead in that home. Let me see if I've got any more background. I don't think there's been a ton. I really don't think there's been a lot of background given on who they are. I think this might be one of the most. I know her friends spoke out to the media at one point, and I am in contact with one of the friends that knew Cameron. Knew Colin. I know someone who knew Colin, and I speak to them every now and then, but they're a little cagey in what they're willing to talk to me about. Here, so it's Kelly, Colin, and Cameron. Any background on them? There's the house, by the way. That's what the house looked like after the fire. You can see where probably most of the blaze started. I think we did find out that there's a set of stairs here, and it looks like the fire was in this section for the most part. And I think that's a bedroom up here. So I think that's where most of the fire was. This is sorry. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. Yeah, a friend of Richard who met her in beauty school, told ABC that she had heard from her a few days before the crime. Yeah, there's not a lot about their background or who they are. I don't know why it's like that. Yeah, but that's the three of them right here. Let me put this in a different tab so you guys can see it. So that's Kelly, that's Cameron in the middle, and that's Colin here. So from what I understand, he had a different girlfriend. This girl here, Cameron, was in like a newer type relationship, not super long term. They'd only been together recently, and she had a different he had a different girlfriend at one point. Don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but victimology. Well, yeah, there's really not a ton. Just that oh, hold on, I might be able to play the one from the friend. We played it last year, but it doesn't really give us a lot of detail. Colin. There was a friend that spoke out to, I think it was KHOU. Yeah, oh yeah, it was KPRC2, which is Click to Houston.
Are on edge knowing a killer is still on the loose in Cypress. Sunday, 3 people were found murdered inside of a burning home in the Cypress Mills neighborhood. KPRC2 reporter Coralie Peel joining us now from the home on Plains River Drive with what family and friends of the victims are saying about the horrific murders.
This has been surreal for loved ones of the 3 people who were killed. I spoke with a close friend of Cameron Richard. She says that she was living here at the home with her boyfriend. She just spoke with Cameron on Saturday. They talked about some of their favorite TV shows and normal things that they typically chat about. She says she never imagined something so violent could happen to her. Mackenzie Abbott shows us the 3 butterfly tattoos on her arm.
For me, it was me and my 2 best friends, and it was going to stay on my body as long as we were friends.
One of them represents her best friend, 21-year-old Cameron Richard.
Cameron loved butterflies. She was just so free and so, I don't know, girly. It just definitely makes sense.
Abbott just returned to college in Virginia when she learned her best friend since middle school was murdered Sunday morning.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but she definitely did not deserve this at all.
Firefighters found the bodies of Richard, her boyfriend, Colin Foster, and his mother, Kelly Mascarelli, inside the home. Investigators believe they were killed before the home was intentionally set on fire. The killer is unknown, but detectives believe the murders were not random. Abbott says Richard had been living with Foster at the home for a while, and things were going well.
You never thought that she was in any type of danger?
Not at all. It's like, I'm still debating, like, if I think this is real. I was waiting for, like, a text back to say it was a gross joke, but it's just becoming more obvious that it's not.
She says Richard had dreams of becoming a professional hairstylist. She was small in stature, but her heart was big.
Little body, big heart. I've always heard that somewhere, but that was her for sure. She was just a goofball, to be honest. She kind of made light in any situation. She was just the most forgiving person I've ever met. Like, anything she was going through, she was ready to forgive them right after. So she was a good person.
And that person is still out there. What would you say to them if they saw this?
They saw this, I'd say nothing is worth to doing that much, nothing at all. You have robbed them from a lifetime of experience.
She says her butterfly tattoo will now forever be a symbol for Cameron Richard. At this time, detectives have not named any suspects, but if you have any information about this triple murder, you are urged to contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
There was some information that I was given last year that they were at an event before this happened early in the morning. I don't have too much more information other than that, and I would have to search through my emails to remember how I got that information. But I did receive some information that said that they were at an event, I think the day before, the night before. It was before the murder took place. And some people think it may have been related to that. Maybe something happened at the event. Maybe they got into it with someone. at this event. I mean, I don't know, but it's yeah. I don't think it's a wrong house. I think this is extremely targeted. I think the fact that they didn't steal anything, there was like no cash or anything taken. It's weird. I believe they ruled that out. I don't want to speak and say the wrong thing and create misinformation, but I have a funny feeling that the car was ruled out as a source of anything. I, I just don't want to create misinformation, but I just have a funny feeling that ended up being ruled out as anything, to do with this. At least I believe so. Joe said these are attractive people too, but I think the Idaho Fall thing was bigger because it was a small town. I mean, Cypress is not really a very large suburb. I find that, if we show you here and we go out, I mean, there's Cypress Mill Park here. It's not really like, it's not a massive area or anything. Cypress Village, there's Cypress as a whole. If we sort of zoom out, like it's a pretty tiny little suburb, in the area. So it's northwest Houston. So it's on the outskirts of the what you would consider probably the city. The city's probably probably finishes somewhere out here. And yeah. So I wouldn't think it's just strange. I don't understand what the difference is. Ping just thinks all people deserve to have media attention. Here we go. So, yeah, there's their home right there. It's a daring murder because you don't have an escape route. If that car got trapped here for any reason, you'd be in a lot of trouble. And it's a bit of a journey to get back out. You have to go down here. I think you have to go through here. Can you get out through here? Let's see. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, so you have to sort of go in a in an N shape up through here, down through here, and go all the way and end up here. So it's a bit of a drive. Anything goes wrong between here and here, it's you're in a lot of trouble, especially in a triple homicide. He had a quicker route because he came out of this back door, jumped this fence, came through this tennis area, and then ended up with his buddy in the car over here. So he had a quicker escape route. But the guy in the car, no wonder there's a lot of CCTV. Look how many homes. Look how many homes on that route. And that's just the route to the home. So you got all these homes all through here. So they were very lucky. They had a lot of CCTV. You can see how many are on the escape route right here. There's a lot. And then there's even more through here. So I wonder if they've got more footage. I really do. That they haven't given to the public. Because this is a very long road. How did they know they got to this highway here at 290? Like I said, they could have gone through back streets and got out. They could have got to a different area. How did they know they made it onto the highway? How did they know they just didn't keep going through here and go, through the Fry Road and keep going south? But somehow they knew they got onto that highway. How they know that, I think they've got more footage. So Joe Neal said there probably have been 2 or 3 triple murders in Houston since then. There's probably one every month or two. But from what I heard, in this area, there hadn't been one in a number of years. This was the first one, a triple homicide. I think it was in a number of years at the time. I don't know since then, but when it actually took place last year, I think it was the first one in like 3 or 4 years, something like that. It was a while. You might also know this area from another case, and it's not too far away from here, and it is another unsolved crime, one that's been going on much longer, much longer. Hold on, let me find the so do you remember Liz Barazza? Do you remember that one? Liz Barazza, and that is the one that has the CCTV of her being shot in her home. I don't know if you remember this, but here's in Houston, Fox 26 here.
Tonight at 9, 6 years after her death, the family of Liz Barazza is speaking out about her death and their hopes for justice. Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore speaking with her former husband, her parents, and Crime Stoppers. Leslie, what'd they tell you?
Yeah, Liz Barazza's loved ones say they will never stay silent until she receives justice.
Grief comes in waves, and sometimes they're little tiny waves that lap at your feet, and sometimes it's a tsunami.
Bob and Rosemary Nelly continued to live their worst nightmare 6 years after their daughter Liz was gunned down in her driveway. Liz was killed January 25th, 2019, while setting up a garage sale outside her home in Tomball on Cedar Walk Drive.
Anything and kind of everything will just kind of jump out at you, and you do feel that pain.
A pain that Liz's former husband, Sergio Barazza, says he too feels, missing her daily and seeking justice, all while Barazza says he fights to maintain his innocence.
I've always kept Liz in my heart, and I always will. But I've kept going in my life, trying to think of somebody who did this to her, that might be close to me, that I might be friends with, that I might live with. I have no idea. I've not been okay with it, but just there's nothing I can do about it. So I've just continued to show that I'm an open book to the police, that I'm here to do whatever I can to solve this.
Crime Stoppers Director of Victim Services, Andy Kahn, says this case will remain open as long as they continue getting tips.
Grief is intensified when justice is lacking. And sadly, right now, justice is lacking for Liz and her family.
Although the fight continues, Liz's loved ones, Precinct 3 Harris County Sheriff's deputies, along with Crime Stoppers, are honoring her memory with a bench this Thursday in Burroughs Park in hopes that someone sitting with information will come forward.
That was earlier this year on the 6th anniversary for Liz. That is one of the most brutal CCTV videos I've ever watched in true crime. It is horrific. And you just hear her scream. I don't think I have it. Hold on. Yeah, Squeaky Chair is still here, unfortunately. We haven't put together the new chair as of yet, but unfortunately, we should in the future. I can't remember what. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Hold on. I'm just trying to find out. I can't remember where the footage came from originally. Caught on camera shooting this. KHOU? Okay. So you see her in the video getting ready for that garage sale or yard sale. And you'll see what happens here. There is a loud, like, shriek at one point, so just be aware that that'll happen. There you go. It's a little, it's very much at the end. So what are you seeing? I'm pretty sure this is from inside the home, and she's out here at the garage sale. And there's another video. It's not in this one, unfortunately, but you see someone come across the street and then open fire on Liz, killing her, and then they take off. There's also another video of a suspicious vehicle in the neighborhood, maybe casing the area. It's a very sad crime. I will say this so I don't get sued. I think there's someone who could easily solve this murder very easily. They would just have to go into the police and tell them what they know. And I think that person was close to Liz, but I'm not going to name a name. But that's all I'm going to say. There's a person of interest in Florida. Well, I don't know about that. Mimi said that was the same truck that went by at the beginning of the video. Yeah, so they believe there was more than one person involved, or the truck passed. It's been a while since I looked into it, but there's some suspicious people that were surrounding Liz. Carolina said they have a press conference on the anniversary that she was killed. I've been following the Barazza case since I have faith that they will catch her killer. I think so. I think it'll take some time. It'll take someone to speak up. It'll take someone to speak up and give what they know. There's people out there that know what happened to her. And I think it's more than one person. I think it's more than one person that knows what happened to her. So that's all I'm going to say on it. But it's not too far away. So Tomball pings knowledge of the area is not too great, but I know this is not. Yeah, it's not too far away. Oh, good work, computer. So the triple homicide that we talked about in the house fire is just here. Liz Barazza's case is from Tomball, up here, right here, not too far away, about a suburb or a bit away from each other. So not too far away, actually. Just about a 5-minute drive from each other. So up here, and then Cypress Point, Cypress Park, Cypress in general. So they're pretty close to each other. So if you've heard of this area before, it might be because of that case. It might be. I don't think it is racist, buddy. Carolina said, I absolutely agree with you, Ping. Yeah, there's people that know. 100%. And I'm not like, oh, there's a killer out there and he knows. No. There's people that are close to her that know. And they have been keeping a very terrible secret for a long time. Hopefully, eventually, someone will talk. Or they'll find enough evidence to drag that person in and actually make some charges or get a lead, something. But, from very similar areas, and both are not solved, both unsolved. So, it doesn't heighten my sort of faith in a lot of things, unfortunately. But I hope both of them are solved. But the one in Cyprus, the house fire one with the triple homicide, I think if these two people, the driver and then the person who actually went into the home, I guarantee you they told other people about what they did. This is not some sort of like secret, pact where they're not going to tell. I bet you they've been bragging about it to people. I guarantee it. So if you ever overheard that conversation, anyone talking about this fire and the triple homicide, call it into that number, because you could help solve the case and give that poor mum and some of the other families some justice here, because it's very, very sad. So what is the number? Ping? The number is 1-800-CALL-FBI, which is 1-800-225-5324. And you could get a reward of up to $25,000. I really think it should be like $100,000, but okay, it's not. That's fine. That's okay. You can have a reward of 25 grand. There you go. Here's the number on your screen. Right there. So if you know anything about either case, you should call in. But if you know anything about this one, the house fire, even if it's like this much information, sometimes that's all they need to, to sniff out a new line of inquiry. If you're just like, oh, it could be that guy, that guy that I saw and I heard him say something, that's all it could be sometimes. And then once they get onto the trail, they're able to sort of like, keep at it and keep digging. And eventually they get to where they want to go. But they can't do it without people's help. They can't, people in the area. Do you live in Cypress? Did you hear anything? Did you see anything? Do you live in that street? Do you know anything? Have you thought to yourself, oh, I don't really want to talk to the cops. I don't really like the cops. I saw something, but I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be part of the trial. You don't have to be. If you call that number, you can stay anonymous. You could probably stay. You could call Crime Stoppers in Houston too. You could call Crime Stoppers if you really wanted to not be involved. If you didn't want to be dragged into a police station to give a statement, you could just call up and be like, "Hey, that triple homicide in the fire in Cypress? Yeah, well, I'm a person who lives somewhere locally, but I heard this and I saw that." That's all you have to do. It's very easy, very easy. And you could help. You could help find who did this, but can't be done. I think this can't be solved without public help. I think the police sort of have an idea what's going on, but they can't quite track down who it is. Watch them tomorrow come out with a press conference and they're like, we know exactly who it is and we've arrested them. That's probably what will happen because I just said that. That's probably what will happen. Which is, I'd be happy with that anyway. Carolina says Tomball is part of the metro area in Houston. Yeah. Retired RN said, how could you keep quiet? It would eat you from the inside. Funny enough, I had a question the other day in the comments. Someone said, wasn't it hard to sit on all that information about Aaron Patterson for like 9 months or a year? And I was like, yeah, it was. It was very, very hard. And I had a risk of jail time if I said anything. So there was a great motivator there for me not to talk. But in this case, if you're just a witness, you won't be charged with anything. In my case, I had a legal obligation not to say anything. Very different. But yeah, it was very hard when people were asking me questions about things. They were like, Ping, don't you know about this? Don't you know about Simon? And I'm like, I know all about it, but can't legally talk to you about it. It's just sort of the way it is, unfortunately, down here. Mimi says, I couldn't live with myself if I ever knew something like this. There's a lot of people out there keeping very bad secrets. Joe Neal said, can I call the FBI and tell them to stop protecting Epstein's bestie? You can try. I don't know what they're going to say. Maybe you'll end up on the most wanted list for prank phone calls or something. I don't know. Yeah, you'll probably get on their radar. Next time you try to take a flight, you'll get that triple whatever. There's a number that you get on your card, and if you have it, it's like, I think it's AAAA or something. That means you're going to get I know it's quadruple S. If you get that, you get the screening, the enhanced screening. So you call in to the FBI and say that, Mr. Joe, every time you fly, you'll get the quadruple S on your ticket every time. And you'll have to go through secondary screening. So if you want to do that, go ahead. You want to have your butthole searched at the airport? Have fun. Gayla says, check your jail pocket. That's right. They're going to check your jail pocket, Joe. All because you called in about some matter that you're not offering any tips about. They're going to check your jail pocket. All right. I think we're done. It was nice not to talk about Erin tonight. I can tell you after spending the last 48 hours literally reading, constantly reading, it has been a nice break to talk about a different case. But I want to say thank you to a couple people. I don't want to be hold on, guys. I want to say thank you to Linda. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. That's very kind. Came in yesterday. I want to thank my friend JDR for earlier this week. I'm sorry I missed it the other night, my friend. It is very, very kind of you. These people are the people that allow me to head out to the courtroom and always be on top of these cases from Victoria. So I appreciate it. It's very kind to the people who support this channel financially. We're not quite at the stage yet where I can live off the ad money. Right now, depending on the video, we make like $5 a video sometimes. Some of the Aaron Patterson ones, I think we made like $50 on the video one time. One time. It's the ad revenue is not amazing. But yeah, so those people, I really appreciate it. Did Mrs. Ping just giggle? I don't think so. Did you laugh about anything? She's shaking her head, saying no. She says no, she did not. He's drinking something over there. You weren't racist tonight? That's a good step for you. I'm glad you have now admitted that you have a problem and you've taken a step forward in your recovery as a racist. I'm glad. You don't? All right. That's right. Oh, did you laugh at Jail Pocket? No. Yeah, no, she says no. Maybe you heard a ghost. Maybe there's a ghost laughing in my home. That could be true. That could be true. Retire into this. Thanks, Ping. It was a great night. Good night, everyone. Yeah, good night, everyone. Have a great night. I don't even have a timeline for the Aaron Patterson video anymore because of this extensive sort of change in circumstances to what we're allowed to talk about now, and these several thousand pages that I have to go through. It's going to be longer than I thought because now we've got a whole bunch of other stuff that we've got to add in, and it's insane. It's crazy. But I will have more for you, and we definitely have more about Simon's illness. I have some more details about that. I have some more details about sort of how they happened, where they happened, what he did when he got ill. I have some more details about Simon and Aaron's breakup and the things that happened between when they broke up and the lunch at Aaron's home. Some more details about Aaron's lunch, and some interesting details about people surrounding Aaron. We'll talk about those people another time, but there's some interesting people. Julie said, thanks, Ping. Bye, chatters. Hey, Julie Miller. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Betsy. Or Volvo. How are you, my friend? Gayla said, sorry I missed being in chat. Oh, you were with your mum? Okay. I hope she's doing well. Carolina says, good night, everyone. I will. Tomorrow is a Monday. You never know what's going to happen in the Victorian courts down here. So who knows what's going to happen tomorrow morning. Joe Neal said, what didn't you cover? I thought we were done. Last weekend, I'm like, we're done. I'm not going to do anything else for a while. I thought we were going to be sort of not able to do Simon's, Simon's alleged poisoning. I thought it was going to be a couple of months away. And then we sort of had that court day on Friday, and everything sort of got rectified. And it was like, yeah, now you can do it. Go nuts, everyone. And we got a bunch more stuff that we had to deal with, and it sort of added about 40% more onto the entire story. So there's a lot of details there, including a little snippet that one of the things that Erin cooked for Simon were these cookies, right? These cookies. Simon was very concerned about them because Erin kept calling him, asking him about, like, did you eat the cookies? Did you enjoy them? And he's like, that's so weird. Like, why is she calling me, asking me whether I ate the food? And he was so scared by it that he only took like a tiny bite of it, and then he sort of just put it down. And he was so worried. He actually thought about getting these cookies tested, but he didn't know where to start with it. So he thought about it, but it didn't happen. So yeah, there's a little bit more information about the poisoning of Simon Patterson. And yeah, so these cookies were given to Simon. It was supposed to be that his child had made them for him with Erin. And, yeah, Erin kept calling him saying, have you tried them? Are they good? Do you want to talk to your children and say how great they are? And he felt that was suspicious because he'd never heard Erin call him like that, wondering if he had eaten the food. So, yeah, there you go. There's a bit more information on the cookies that Erin and his allegedly his child cooked for him. So, Gail says, I bet he wishes he did test them. I believe so too. Yeah, I believe he dodged a bullet. Although this is a man who had a large portion of his bowel removed due to one of the poisoning attempts, alleged poisoning attempts, allegations. So, he didn't get off like scot free. He went through life changing surgery, life changing. It's not like he was just in hospital for a couple of days and got released. He was in hospital for almost I think it was a few months. I have to double check, but I know he was in ICU for 21 days, and then he still had recovery after that. What's crazy is after getting out of hospital with that and having that surgery, and it's so severe and life changing, and if he didn't have the surgery, the doctors told Erin he would die. After he got out of hospital and stayed with Erin at her home on her insistence, she allegedly, according to the allegations, tried to poison him again while he was in recovery. So she tried again. She made a stew for him, and he believes it was poisoned while he was in recovery. That poor guy has been through a lot. So yes, I released it on this channel. As soon as I got it, we put it on the channel so you guys can watch it. It's so we did one with the live show, and then I uploaded it separately, so you can watch the whole thing in its entirety on the channel. It's the entire file. I haven't edited it. I haven't done anything. It's exactly as I got it. He needs therapy. I would say so. I've heard some allegations that Simon was a bad guy, very violent, and was, had some bad behavior towards Erin. Yeah, I probably would too if my wife was poisoning me. I mean, if I believe my wife was poisoning me too, I'd probably have some pretty bad behavior towards her too. Yeah. So, I mean, I struggle with people who think that, yeah, just look, I'm not saying he acted like perfect all the time. He obviously did bad things, and I think the evidence and stuff bears that out. They had a very toxic, almost toxic relationship with each other. But the story that he's the only abusive one in this situation is not true. I believe Erin was also very abusive to him, and the people trying to say that she's just an abused woman and she was just fighting back. No, 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 no. She's a triple murderer. Simon is not. He's a victim of her poisoning attempts, including having to have part of his bowel removed. I don't know what some people consider abuse, but I would consider being fed food to the point where I get so sick that they have to remove part of my bowel so I survive and live. Pretty serious abuse. So people need to like rectify their thinking on how relationship dynamics work and how abuse doesn't just happen to women. Even though statistics do say that like 95% of DV is towards women, doesn't mean it doesn't happen to men. It's a smaller portion of the statistic, and it's rarer, but it does happen. And like I said, there was a guy at December last year in Victoria. I think his girlfriend or wife put a knife through his chest, killed him on the couch. He was sitting on the couch. His partner grabbed a kitchen knife and shoved it through his chest, and he died. And it was a DV crime. So crimes against men do happen. Again, I'm not saying he's an angel. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything wrong. I'm not saying he doesn't have behavior that he doesn't regret. But you gotta think of the overall thing here. She is the cuckoo one. I mean, nobody does what she did, right? I agree. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have his medical history. I don't know. It's not detailed in anything we've seen or anything like. I don't know. Nor would I speak on it, even if I did know. I don't think airing anyone's personal medical history is a, it's not the right thing to do. It's quite a tough condition to have, and I wouldn't want to embarrass someone, because of their medical issues. So even if he did, I don't know, and even if he did, I wouldn't tell you. So, so but honestly, I actually don't know. It's not anything that's been given to us. Just know that he had the surgery. That's all. Oh yeah, imagine having that. Mostly gay guys, you have some odd theories about life. I don't think mostly gay guys are the DV equivalent. I think actually there's a lot of straight men who have been abused by straight women. It does happen. Woman of Steel said if he thought she was poisoning him, why didn't he grab the kids and run? I don't know. I think he was very loyal to her. I think in the evidence that I've read, he's very loyal. Even up until before the lunch that killed his mom and dad, he thought they were eventually going to get back together. He thought that reconciliation was a possibility between him and Aaron, even with the poisonings. So, don't know if he's just a very loyal guy, or maybe in their religion they don't believe in divorcing your partner or something. I don't know. I don't know Simon. But if Simon ever wants to come on this channel, he is welcome to, and I would give him a platform and he can just talk whatever he wants to talk about. Hey Gracie, I've seen it on both sides. Does not matter the gender sometimes. Violence is violence. Some cultures are macho men dominated, like in Latin America. But in all fairness, each crime needs punishment. That's right. Well, Simon's never going to see punishment, I don't think, unless they refile the charges at a later date. After this trial is all done, after the sentencing is all done, after appeals and whatever else sort of, wind up, maybe the OPP or the DPP will refile the charges for Simon. I have no idea if they will, but they might. So we'll see. I don't know if they will. No idea. I don't get phone calls from them. They don't give me any updates on anything. All right. Here's a bit of a dope. All right. Let's get out of here for the night. Hey, I love you all very much. I don't know where Sean's been. I hope he's all right. Hope he doesn't have the flu or something. Hope Sean is doing hope Sean's doing well. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. What are we going to do tomorrow? I've got no idea. got no idea. Probably more Patterson information, most likely. I don't know. We'll see. There might be other cases. It changes day to day. So I will see you then. We can talk more about whatever tomorrow. And have a great, what day is it for you guys? Saturday night. Have a great Saturday night out there. I'll be back for Sunday nights with Ping tomorrow night. See you later, everyone. Watch the Patterson thing from Friday. A lot of information in there. New information about Simon. So watch that if you haven't watched it yet. Good night, everyone. Bye.